What's up, guys? I'm your girl, aka Young Trish, and welcome to Story Time. Okay, so this story right here is supposed to be based on the true story. Now, I heard this story when I was growing up. My brother had just little homeboys that used to come over, and they used to tell us scary stories. He had this friend named Argado. But anyway, story short, that dude used to come over and tell us all types of crazy, weird stories. Like, he always had some crazy stories. Like, I remember this story that he told us. It's a couple stories, and I'm gonna try to tell you guys all these crazy stories that he used to tell us. Even though we was kids and our imaginaries, your imagination run wild when you a child and you hear these stuff, bro. I didn't sleep for weeks on some of the stuff that he talked about. But this story right here, I'm gonna tell y'all, because this story right here is supposed to be based on a true story. And to his understanding, he said that this happened in Daytona Beach, somewhere off of South Street. So it's this family. Big family. I'm saying they had a lot of kids, but they had like two sets of twins. They had two sets of boys and two sets of girl twins, and then they had other kids. So they said for this particular night, it was a rainy night, bro, and they said that the parents was gone out. Both of the mom and the dad, they went out to the bottom. Y'all know back in those times, like early 90s, bro, the bottom was it. Everybody that was anybody, that's where they was hanging out at, is at the bottom. You feel me? Drinking and, smoking cigarettes. I guess that's what, that was what was cool back then. Okay, so they was hanging out at the bar late night. So the dude said he was there. He said he was sitting in chilling with the older siblings. He said he was sitting back in the couch. He said that the kids, they was up, they was watching TVs. They were watching all the types of little crazy, little scary movies that was on TV at the time. And he said that the kids were sitting up in there. He said that, bro, out of nowhere, bro, it was like a loud noise that came out of nowhere, like a loud noise that was upstairs. So he said, ain't nobody paying no attention. And then they said out of nowhere, like a tornado just came. Then like the living room, bro, and like they said, the pots and pans, like everything that was metal that just came in and just started swirling all around, bro. He said that, bro, it scared the living Jesus out of him. He said, like, bro, he said that what was crazy is that the brothers, the two twin boys, he said, bro, they was just sitting there, like literally like in a daze, like in a daze. He was like, they was trying to shake them out of it and everything, but he said they was just sitting there. They was like, all this stuff had just happened. And they was like, and then he was like, that the older brother told the younger siblings, like, every time they're around, like, weird stuff go to happen. And like, TV go flicking on and off, pictures moving, falling off the wall. In black people households, picture fall off the wall, people think that there's somebody gonna die in the family. I'm saying, in every black household, if the picture fall, believe me, if a picture fall, they think something bad gonna happen. I'm saying, I know in my family and all my cousins in them house, they all had the same things, the saying. But anyway, y'all, back to the story. The pictures was coming off the wall, stuff flying everywhere, paper everywhere. They was like, bro, it's like a tornado. It was like, it didn't stop, it kept going. So it was like, it was so loud and so noisy that with all the commotion going on, to like the neighbors had called 911. So as they on the phone, they was like, bro, something weird is going on at my neighbor's house. And they know that the neighbors was out because the people that was next door, the mother that was next door was supposed to be watching the children, but making sure they don't leave out the house or whatnot. So she was sitting on her porch and she was like, it's a whole bunch of commotion. She heard all the noise and all the sound that was coming up out of there, and like people coming out of their house trying to check and see what's going on. Like, what the hell going on over there? I'm like, I know the mama and the daddy gone. Like, most people, parents was gone. The kids just hanging out there chilling. So the lady, she thought that the kids was over there being bad or something bad was going on. So she got on the phone. She dialed 911. Okay, so she was like, man, it took forever for the police to pop up. Said, bro, they came like an hour later. So she was like, the stuff still was going. She like, all that time, bro, the pots and pans and stuff is just still flying around the house. Like, out of mate, she hysterical. She like, out of breath, like, bro, stuff is flying in the house. So she was like, she didn't go in there. She just dazed through the window, and bro, like, she seen stuff and she was like, it didn't look right because it didn't look normal. And then she was telling the police that, the friend, was the lady that was next door, she was like, they was friends or whatnot. She like, sometimes she'll go out and she'll watch her children and whatnot. But she was like, bro, she told her that stuff always, like, weird stuff always happening in the house. She like, bro, like, one morning she said that the damn dozen, she bought a dozen of eggs, and she was like, she came back in there, she like, all the dozens of eggs that, like, they done been fried inside the, like, somebody put them back in there. But she was like, they fried to the carton, you feel me? So she was like all types of weird stuff that be happening in this house. So the police came. So, you know, the police was like weird stuff happening in the house. You know how police is, they don't believe nothing until they see it. So this officer, he hearing the commotion, he hearing all the stuff that's going down. So he like, oh man, you sure ain't nobody in here? Like no animals or nothing in here? So the lady was like, no, there's supposed to be a house full of children over there. So the officers knock on the door and he said his words and telling them to open up. So the door was already like, you know, sort of open. So the officer just opened and he walked in. That's the wrong thing he wanted to do. So they said that them same old pots and pans that went to flying around, bro, they said them pots and pans and damn goddamn forks and stuff went to poking at this dude. So this dude running like, you know, full spleen up out of there. So he trying to go call for backup. So he told his partner like, bro, something just attacked me. Like, he don't know, he ain't see nothing. The only thing he know is just pots and pans is just flying everywhere. He was like, you know, when you come somewhere, you don't picture pots and pans just flying and hitting you all across your damn head or whatnot. So they said this officer took a pounding. And like, man, the pots and pans flowed. He said, man, the stuff was coming out the house. It was so bad and was following the officer, flying around him, trying to, you know, hurt his ass, like seriously hurt his ass. So he called for backup and told him. So a whole bunch of other officers came. And the second officer that pulled up, so he was like, bro, there's something going on in the house. Go check it out. So the other officer, he like, shit, them pots and pans just fucked you up the way. Because he looked at the other officer was just fucked up. So he was like, bro, hey, if it fuck you up like that, he was like, I am not going up in there. And the other officer sat right there. He was like, we're just going to wait for backup. So they waited and waited and waited until the stuff calmed down. And finally, the parents had showed up. They want to know. They screaming and hollering because they thought something bad didn't happen to their kids. So they running up in the house. She ran up in the house. She dropped the baby. So all the stuff that calmed down. It started dying down. So the mother got there. Everything died down when her and the father got there. But then, like a few seconds, they said like it ain't one night in a few seconds. They was like out of nowhere, like the dirt and stuff with the levitating, like it went to going like up, and the kids were acting all weird. I mean, like they went acting weird, like they was in a daze, like they wasn't saying nothing or whatnot. So like the officer had to call somebody. So they was like, they don't know who the hell he called. He was like, had to be the government, because it's like some people pulled up in a nice car. They said they took one of the kids and they left one of them there. It was like, bro, the story tells it that they took one of the kids. They had to separate them because they said that every time they together, they like have some type of magnet crap going on with them. So, you know, they can't be together. They said for the rest of their life, they can't never be together. So it's always this one twin that's out there. They say they can't never be, they always got to be far apart. So some people said that they took one of the brothers and they put him on the island because they said he was the main person while all this bad stuff was going on. But they said one of the brothers graduated, moved in New York, and did good for himself, and ain't had none of that happen. But, you know, somewhere you can tell that he's still missing somebody, you know, still, he feel like he's still missing one part of him because his brother, you feel me? But he never heard of, they say he never seen or heard about his brother ever again. Now that's the way the story go. I don't know if that's the story or that's right, but I'm telling you, that's the way I heard it. That's my ears to y'all's. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. And please don't forget to like this blog. And please don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you don't forget to check our podcasts out, which we're going to be doing scary stories on podcasts. Don't forget to check out our YouTube. Appreciate it. Deuces. Y'all stay cool.